Well, hello, and welcome to We Are Live.
A hearty good morrow to you, sir.
Oh, why, thank you, Paul.
How are you, everybody? It's Chris Tim and Travis Terrell. We are live streaming from the Midcoast studio at Grand Center, St. Louis. Happy April 9th, 2019.
Nice.
If you want to text in, 314-669-1431. Today on the show, we've got a Travu from one Travis Marvis Morel. I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be haphazard.
Yeah,
he will be reviewing the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. And forgive me if I butcher this. Our guest in the second hour will be Danny Wicentowski from the Riverfront Times. I'm hoping I nailed that. He can chastise me in the second hour if I've messed that up.
Why you didn't put it in in the Google search?
What's that?
Put it in the Google search box. Put the last name in the Google search box, and that'll give you a pronunciation.
Well, it could be Wicentowski.
Well, you keep saying it could be.
Wicentowski?
We could find out specifically. You can just go to the Google box.
No.
That's what the Google box is there for.
No.
I talk to Alexa every morning. I say, Alexa, what that booty do? She's like, Travis, good morning. And you know what that booty do. Yeah, my Alexa is a sister.
What are you drinking there? Some knockout punch?
I'm drinking Body Armor.
Superior hydration.
Dude, Kobe drinks it, so it must be good.
And you have a red Kool-Aid T-shirt on. Can we get a close-up
It's not.
on
It's
that?
not it's Deadpool. It's Deadpool.
That Kool-Aid
but it's
man
Kool-Aid.
joined the Bloods. Yeah. He's a gang member.
No, he ain't no gang member.
Possibly from Japan.
He's just keeping it real, Deadpool style.
Cutting people's heads off and quenching their thirst.
Really sweet ass
One
shirts
block at a time.
At
Buyjack.com.
Wizard World.
You got it at Wizard World?
I got this at Wizard World. I'm
And
not going to put
there
that on
you
Buyjack because I don't know what the licensing agreement was between Kool-Aid and these T-shirt companies.
That's fair.
So I'm not going to do that to
What
John
if you're
Beebe.
wearing an unlicensed piece of merchandise?
I probably am. I figured they had a booth at Wizard World. They must be certified,
so.
they're good.
Certified. It's like, officer, she was in a club. I assumed she was 21.
Yeah, that works every time.
Every single time. We'll do fair or foul, and to get us to that fair or foul, we'll go to the red light district.
Hold on, let's see if we can check it
I
out.
don't know.
Somebody
We'll
turn their
see.
microwave on. Let's see what we have.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there he is. Oh, hey, Garzy.
Now he's
Now it looks like
pale as the ghost.
Yeah, it
he
looks like you're in
chases.
front of a garage light now.
Yeah, it's you're back to floodlight, Chris Gardner. Yeah. Fear for your life. Go ahead.
So how does it feel not to be rotating inside of an oven
I
anymore?
don't like it. I like the red light.
Did you like the red light district?
Yeah.
I did like the idea of having a pay-to-play scenario where people put quarters in to keep your camera on.
That would be nice.
Kind of have to touch yourself a little bit to
Oh, that'll be difficult.
Oh.
I don't. It's kind of sad. Chris Gardner, how are you this morning?
I am good. Good morning, gentlemen.
How many menthols in are you?
Two
Nice. Oh, early morning for you.
Two menthols in to get me ready for my walnut.
Oh, there it is.
Crystal clear. So you're two in. What's the usual for a day? We've never discussed this.
I really don't keep track.
Nor should you.
I don't
Free spirit.
care.
Long hair,
It's
don't
like
care.
when you ask like a drunk how many beers they've had.
That's a good point.
There's
Pro
so-
doesn't count.
It does not. Unless you're
I
Chris.
don't know.
Chris used to like to catalog his drinks back
Well,
in the day.
how else am I going to line the bill of my cab?
That's also true. Look, I had 3 Jaegers,
Sure.
4 vodka tonics,
Classic Denman.
2 Busch Lights, cup of coffee with Kahlua.
Yeah. Nailed it. I had that 3 nights a week.
Denman on Friday night.
Can
Like,
you
oh, boy.
imagine if you did drink all that?
That sounds awful.
That's a brew that's coming right back up.
Oh, you better believe it.
If you're watching in the Facebook live stream, thank you. And be sure to...
Go to hell.
Okay, there it is. Travis Terrell, everybody.
Share. I read the cue card wrong.
That's right.
Share it.
Share if you're listening at home. Thank you. Be sure to subscribe if you're not, and throw us a review. 5 stars only, if you haven't. Excited to talk to Danny again in the second hour.
What are we bringing him in? Just
it's,
is it Media Tuesday?
It is Media Tuesday, but he just provided a recap of one of the greatest moments in St. Louis history.
What is that?
When the cows got loose in North City.
That was a moment St. Louis came to a pause. Do you remember where you were when the Sirius 6, when the magnificent, when the cows didn't jump over the moon. What was the
It's
headline
like
for that?
they cut to him. They're like,
They're
and
called
here are the
this-
cows today. And it's a couple just double cheeseburgers sitting there. Like,
They're called the St. Louis Six.
The St. Louis Six. Oh boy,
You know,
that's
we'll talk
basically
about that.
mostly the girls I date.
And
Boom,
Danny did an
little
oral
high for you.
history.
an oral history.
Yeah, so he talked to about a dozen people.
Of
I
course
think.
he did.
One of them being Kelly Backus, David Backus' wife.
Okay,
Big
okay.
animal advocates.
I don't know what is that.
Came back from Sochi with 900 dogs. Remember that? The
I
Olympics?
do, and
That's
they
true.
had the wildling dogs all over the place.
Wildling dogs. Somebody's
Yeah.
ready for Thrones.
Oh yeah, it's Game of Thrones week,
What's
baby.
a wildling dog?
Okay.
Wildlings are basically it's East St. Louis.
Okay.
So
I've been
you
there.
you know, East St. Louis, all but have an agreement. Hey, we stay on our side, you stay on yours. But the wildlings don't care for the people over the wall. I think we're gonna find out actually the origins of the reasons why. Probably this last season.
Yeah, go ahead.
But the fact of the matter is, the wildlings, they about that life because they've been left in the wilderness.
Oh,
They've been abandoned by civilization.
like Bon Iver out in the woods.
It's like, what? That's not exactly it.
but that tells
Lost
me
in the
the
woods?
story a little different.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Better.
Yeah,
I
that
can
helps.
relate more, Travis,
Okay, there
to
we
that.
go. All right.
With a beard screaming in the woods,
Mm.
shouting in the woods.
By the way, did you see that Chris Denman compared himself to one of the actors from Game of Thrones? Forget the actor's name, but he plays Samwell Tarly in the show Game of Thrones, and he's a likable, lovable fella.
Fat.
Yeah, but he's pretty heavy
Husky.
set. He's a husky fella, and yeah, I guess he showed up because Kit Harington hosted SNL this past weekend.
Oh,
And so he was in the audience. They were part of the skit. Some parts of the country
Sketch.
would call it. But in the Chris decided to take a screenshot and post a selfie of himself
Yeah.
next to Samuel Tarly, and it got 8 favorites on Twitter.
that was good.
Yeah,
I didn't know who that was. I assumed it was somebody.
Yeah, it's just motivation to continue down my journey.
which is crazy because Samuel Tarly's probably getting 10 times more ads than you ever got when you were in shape.
You think
Yeah.
so? Is
There's
that a
no
shot
doubt.
at me,
Oh.
or are you just highlighting his?
A
Are you
little bit of
highlighting
both.
his? I mean, he's on
I'm
the
saying-
biggest show in the history of
Well,
TV.
that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to
I'd
let
be
you
quite
know.
disappointed that one of the dudes, Eric Stone Street, very famously plays an effeminate gay man
Right.
on network television.
Right.
He was just slaying in the street.
Sure.
He's Eric Stone Street.
Of course. That's on
So-
Modern Family.
Are you trying to? You're trying to cut me
No,
down,
I'm
or
not
are you
trying to cut you
highlighting
down. I'm saying
what
Samuel-
a famous actor does?
I'm telling you, Samwell didn't worry about belt loops.
I was actually going to ask for
Sam
a
Wells
belt loop
looking trim.
update.
Yeah.
Sam Wells looking trim.
He does
Which-
look good. What is your belt update? What's going on with that?
Belt's worthless at this point.
What?
I've,
You've gotten rid of belts?
No.
Oh.
The belt I prefer to wear is rendered useless.
Oh, okay. So you just rope now?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you're on-
just a thin string. Used to be a shoestring. I'm that skinny now.
Damn.
You're on to an older belt then?
Yeah, but I forget because the belt that's now too big looks better, or I like it, or
So
there's
do
a
you need
comfort
to
with
get
it.
a new belt then?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to purchase a new belt. That's
kind
that's in the budget for July.
What kind of belt do you like?
Braided, preferably. It's the most functional, and it goes well with my cargo shorts.
It is almost cargo shorts.
It is about
I
that
love
time.
cargo shorts.
Do you now?
Were the braided belts just the Caucasians, or did
No,
that work its way into
that
your
worked its
community?
way. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Our community was definitely a part of that. There's no doubt about it. And then there was nothing wrong with
Yeah,
it, but you can't.
There's a big problem with
I
braided
mean,
belts.
like now it is, but back then I got it. It made sense. We were all the economy was tough.
What?
It was the Iran-Contra crisis.
And you had to-
Bill Clinton had the situation with Monica Lewinsky. The country was
I
in
think you're about
peril.
20 years off. On both
So
of
yeah, I mean, I can understand why braided belts was a thing.
Braided belts, you never really had to worry about loops then.
Very true.
Just kind of
Worked.
them. Yeah,
Worked
I
in
wouldn't be able to
between the
brag
braids.
about my belt loop situation. I'd just be like, a little further down the braid.
So we might make fun of the look, but there was a logistic reason.
Functionality.
Yeah,
there
there was a
functionality.
functional. And I
just
think-
like with cargo shorts, and
Yeah.
make them camo.
Why-
Then you could go hunting.
I've never understood the hate for cargo shorts, unless I guess people are stereotyping the people that wear them. I love pockets
But why do you need so many?
because I want to carry things.
What
And
are you attempting to carry if you're leaving the house? keys,
wallet,
okay.
phone,
What's wrong?
cigarettes,
Can't normal
lighter.
pants take care of that?
Yeah, it gets tight on your thighs.
Well, maybe you should cut back some of the clutter.
No, how about just use pockets?
Okay.
There's a solution to my problem.
What's your end
If
game,
it's hot
Gardner?
outside, I turn on the air conditioning, right?
You ain't
a
gotta do all
solution
that.
to a problem.
Well, you can just turn on a fan. Just relax.
So why can't I just have pockets?
Have we ever discussed your end game?
That is also true.
I don't
We
know
talk
that I
about
have
your
one.
strategies.
have
We
one.
talk about your nuances, your ticks.
End
your
game is a
issues.
surprise even to me.
Okay.
I just think you're as a grown ass man, you don't need to be walking around like you're
Who says I'm a grown
a
ass man?
boudreau. You're like a walking
Excuse me?
boudreau. Isn't that what they're called?
Boudoir.
Boudreau.
Boudreau's a
Lou
guy that
Boudreau?
owns. Lou Boudreau.
Is that not?
He owns a croissant shop in the Central West End.
It's not the goalie for the New Jersey Nets.
What is a boudreau?
Isn't a boudreau like that big?
Are you trying to say bureau?
No, it's a boudreau. It's
Boudoir?
the thing that's in your room that's big and tall, and you put
Me?
stuff into it.
dresser?
I don't know. I feel like it's what's it called? A boudreau. Look it
Boudoir?
up. Boudreau. Put it up in the Googles.
I think he played defensive end for the Rams in
You
'73.
say it right. You call it the Google box.
The Google box.
How do you spell it?
Boudreau. Accent over the U.
There's no accent.
Boudreau. I think it's French.
Yeah, it's most certainly French.
Okay,
Listen to the
see?
damn word.
There we go. See, it has to be it. That's where you put your clothes. You put
A
stuff.
boudoir is a woman's private sitting room or salon and a furnished accommodation usually between the dining room and the bedroom, but can also refer to a woman's private bedroom.
And second term, boudreau.
Boudoir.
That's the feminine saying. What's the masculine?
Well, I think boudoir is feminine in
Yeah,
nature.
It's for a
Uh,
woman.
but- but-
It's
but-
for a woman.
But then there's
Intimate,
one for men.
romantic, and sometimes erotic.
Okay.
Let's retire to the boudoir.
So do you want to keep walking
Said
around?
no woman ever to Travis. You're not boudoir worthy.
It's boudreau.
Boudreau is a last name.
Okay.
That was literally, I think, a defensive end.
It's a surname.
Okay. I'll look it up later.
Do you feel good
Will
about
you?
where we're at right now?
I think you guys don't allow me to give correct answers
Hmm.
to things.
Our bad.
And so, stop
How
it.
are we not allowing that?
Because you're sitting up here saying boudreau. I know what I'm saying. Boudreau.
We
Look,
hear what
last
you're
week.
saying. We're
Last
telling
week.
you you're wrong.
He's gonna blame Trump.
No, I ain't
He's gonna blame Trump.
I ain't blaming nobody. I'm just saying last week
Oh, here we
I didn't
go.
have last week. I didn't have a problem. As you know, I did not struggle with sentence of the week because there was no sentence of the week. So I think what you guys are trying to do is create.
The JVL Jackals thinks you were trying to say wardrobe. Now he's thinking about it. Now we've got him on his heels.
Okay, we may be getting somewhere now. Mm-hmm. Do you want to walk around with a wardrobe? There we go. That's
Okay.
what I was trying to do.
Does that feel better?
That was it. My
Okay.
apologies. But Boudreaux is a dope ass name. That's a dope ass name.
Paul Boudreau.
Paul Boudreaux. Boudreaux. So it's not okay.
Hey, Gardner, what's a fair or foul topic today where people can win $10 to Southtown Pub?
This is the one that Travis picked yesterday.
That means he doesn't like it and he doesn't want to take responsibility.
Oh
for it.
wow, he just deflected. Interesting. Why
okay.
would you do that? What's the fair or foul today?
It's a good read.
Can you believe that?
That's solid.
Well, I don't know that this topic is necessarily for me, Travis.
I think this actually is for you.
Okay. Code switching.
Does anybody
Code
know what that
switching.
is?
Travis, what's code switching?
So, layman's terms, code switching is essentially changing up your behavior or the tone in your voice to fit the comforts of those who are in the room. Generally, from what I have used it for, is doing job interviews. So, so I'll turn off my urban speak just a smidgel, and you will hear hi. So my inflection will go up, and my bass will go down.
And this is you're perceiving that this is necessary.
Well, then recently, not only do I believe a lot of blacks have openly talked about code switching and why, unfortunately, in many cases, it's necessary. it was recently highlighted by a lot of conservatives when AOC appeared at Al Sharpton's convention. I think this past weekend she spoke, and people were getting on her for her black scent that she was using when speaking to the audience.
I'm sorry, is she black?
No, she's not.
You should be appalled.
I wasn't,
I didn't hear her speak. Was
but
it a black accent?
I think, well, one, it's AOC, so if she blinks one way, the right completely just flips their lid. But I think there is a little bit nuance to that. I don't think she was necessarily placating to the crowd, though I can understand why some would
She didn't
think
have
that.
hot sauce on her back?
I think it's just it's a natural behavior, instinctual behavior for people of color when they go into rooms of a certain group of people. So if you are in a room of a large amount of black people, you will hear Travis probably speak inadvertently a particular way as he probably would if I was just in front of my coworkers here
How
at
did you
Midcoast
slip
Media.
into third person there?
Just that easy.
I
So
love that.
you said in a room. It doesn't even have to necessarily be in a room, though.
No,
right?
not
Like,
necessarily.
It could be. I think I can find an example on the phone.
Oh boy.
On the phone is
Oh,
one.
jeez.
Like, say I call you,
yeah.
Travis.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, good sir.
Yes.
How are you?
Yes, I do put
But
on
you
my British
force
accent.
him to do that because of your whiteness.
Yes.
And
So
then,
you should be ashamed of
Yes, you
yourself.
should.
And if a friend calls
Travis,
you,
I'm glad we agree on this.
oh, I'm good. What you into?
No, and that's also familiarity too. Like there are certain you probably wouldn't realize there are certain ways you speak to Sean that you probably wouldn't speak to Chris. So I think we all in many
Slowly.
I don't know.
and very clearly and repeated.
I don't
But
think
I
that's
thi-
a good example.
I think
Yeah,
there
poor
are
example.
times where we all indeed cause I've seen Chris do it a bunch of times. When a sister come around, yo, well, I love Ja Rule, baby girl. I'm like, you ain't never
Classic
said
me.
baby girl in your entire life.
Yeah.
And we do love Ja Rule, but that's beside the point.
What up with them feet?
See? Very easy. Very easy for him to
Gosh,
slip into it.
it's what I do.
Yeah, and like I said, like
I feel pressure from the white man.
all
I
the
doing it right?
time.
Am I
See,
doing it right?
you
Right.
getting there. You getting close. But the fact
What
is
up with that dashiki?
See, all the time, Chris, and you could
They're
like,
like, I'm not wearing a dashiki. Hello, I'm Lauren. Nice to meet you.
and Chris sometimes will like dress the part. Like if he's meeting with black clients,
Yeah.
Chris is like
FUBU.
backwards hat,
Yeah.
hoodie.
I'll call and ask you what you're doing.
Like, hey Gardner, how are
Oh,
you?
Just working on some of my writing.
But it would be
Oh,
weird.
okay.
But wouldn't it be weird?
Somebody else calls you and asks you the same question.
Uh-huh.
Keep it 100.
But that's different. But
Oh, there it was.
it was. But it
Wait,
is.
did you just code switch on me?
Huh?
Yeah.
What? But it is.
What's happening?
Because in that regard, like I just said the same thing, but I just said it in a different way, so that person can understand
Why don't
what
you
I'm
just
doing.
always- why don't you just always be you?
I am always myself. Society forces me to do this.
That's good.
That was really good.
That's good, actually.
That was really
So
good.
what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
expect me to survive, right?
Yeah.
This is the best way I can.
No, actually, Travis, that was a good argument. And you weren't even yelling or
Well,
anything.
see, I'm trying
Yeah,
something
that
new.
now you're really
you
throwing me
were-
off.
Was witty.
Oh, thank you.
Witty works.
I'm hoping so.
Don't
because-
appropriate that.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
thank
I'm about
you.
to say I was going to take that. That's the only thing I can take to New York is my Midwestern wit.
Will it be appreciated?
I don't know.
I don't
I've
think
been
there's
saying
anything will be appreciated.
no, nothing will be. But like I said, I've been telling everyone here at the office that I'm going to be the writer schlub that ends up with the incredibly hot model girlfriend because that's the way it works in New York.
Oh, okay.
I think this entire time of me not being in shape is actually going to help my love life in New York because I'm like, oh, look at that adorable writer rascal chubby black guy.
I hope
That's
you-
my
I hope you
fiance.
do end up with a woman like that.
Thank you.
If that's what you want.
Yes.
You end up maybe
Boudoir.
there, you know,
then that's what she.
in
But
her
then
boudreau.
she would be like, "Oh, look at that stupid country bumpkin. I love him." That's what I'm hoping.
Boudoir.
For. See, like, oh, this.
Do you want to bar? Do you want to? You should really play up the urban cowboy thing. Seriously, bolo tie, nice crisp Wranglers.
Stop it! I'm a visual learner.
I think
I'm
that'd be
picturing
really
this.
good. I think it'd be really good. Howdy, ma'am. I'm
some boots?
I'm Lil
I know-
Nas X's cousin.
You need some boots? I know a guy.
Oh boy,
Oh, sweet Jesus, no.
I don't think he'd sell them to you at a good price.
No.
Hey, what is that?
Oh,
I just
boy.
turned into
You
Denman.
just turned into Denman.
Okay.
Denman. Oh, that was good. Well
Okay.
played.
I thought I
Denman.
was losing my mind, and then you looked up too, and I was like, okay, thank God.
Okay.
I thought I was having a nightmare.
What was I saying?
Oh.
Yeah. I think I'm still owed a 40% discount on a pair of boots.
As part of your
My parting gift.
departure agreement.
You want to negotiate an exit? You bring me in. I've been through them.
What station would you like to work at next? Like, where do you aspire to work at next? Is it time to get into alternative radio? I think maybe you need to settle in, like 2 blocks away, KDHX. You need to be the guy who's like in control of all the records and things like that. And you scream at people and you're like, you don't know the industry, man.
You know who would really want to be involved there because he listens to that and calls in and makes requests for songs.
Now, KDHX is a community radio. It's not an NPR, which is talk, and they do interesting things. KDHX, which is probably great on some of it, but they have like 30 different shows 5 days a week, right? Like it's really, truly
It's all over the place.
come in and do an hour, and it's never the same schedule.
Sean loves KDHX.
Yeah,
my
sure.
friend Sean.
I'm sure it's great.
He would when he would bartend at 34 Club, he would have it on and then call in and request songs while he was working.
That's great.
Delightful.
And then go take a shot of Jaeger.
They should have known that was going to
Did
end
he keep
with
track?
alcohol.
Nobody I know keeps track.
I'm about to say, I don't think Sean has kept track in 25 years.
Do we have
You know who tied one on yesterday?
oh boy,
Oh, boy.
Jess.
Oh, did she?
the old
She
lady?
did a little matinee.
You're gonna tell
Oh,
on,
look, Dardian
My-
for the lady?
What
you're
up?
gonna tell on her because she's still passed out.
No, she's off work today.
Okay, gotcha.
One of my favorite things that she does is no matter how much she drinks, she says she's buzzed.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm picking you up off the ground. Buzzed. This is not buzz. This is not buzz. But yesterday, she was just so honest. I texted as I was leaving the office. I'm like, you at Rosie's? He's like, yep. Effed up. I'm like, all right. At least I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah, that's
fair.
Yeah. Got fair
Yeah.
warning.
But she was counting, apparently.
Do you
I
keep...
had 4 Jack Daniels.
you-
Shit.
That's great.
Do you well, because you don't drink, so she doesn't keep tabs on you, but have you guys ever
I keep
kept...
tabs on your donut consumption.
I haven't had a donut
Not
in...
you,
I'm about to say,
Gardner.
I haven't had a donut in 72 hours.
Wow.
I'm curious because I would... When I had a relationship many moons ago,
Sure.
that I would...
You just talked about that like whenever you graduated from college.
I was like,
Yeah.
back in 07. But I would, my partner, I would keep tabs in my head about how many times I would have to do that, where you would like, they would text you or call you, like, oh, I'm out with the girls, too many mimosas, I'm 3 deep. And I'm like, oh, this is annoying. But then at the same time, I know there's going to be a weekend where I'm also going to be out in these streets and I'm going to need someone to take care of me. Are you that person?
By keeping tabs?
Are you keeping tabs? You're like, hey, baby girl, hey, this is the 4th time in 3 months. Get your ish together.
No.
Okay.
I just don't care.
Oh, okay.
What do you care about?
What do you
I want her to do as she pleases.
Oh, look at you. What a man. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
Do we
Gardner's a good man.
Do we have a poll on Twitter today?
We do.
Oh,
Forgot
okay.
about
This
that.
should be good.
All right.
At We Are Live Radio on Twitter if you guys aren't following.
Can you believe it's been 15 years since Gmail
Oh,
launched?
for the love of Jesus.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Are you
Why
just,
he
is
like
this you
Don't
throwing it in my
ask that
face?
question if you don't want to.
Is this you throwing it in my face that you're mailing it in? Is this you officially
I'm
giving
trying
up?
to think of a can you believe one for tomorrow already.
Do you believe today is Wednesday?
Hey!
Can you believe it's not
Thanks,
Friday?
Travis.
Can you believe it's not Friday yet?
How about this week, huh?
Oh my
Yes
god.
or no?
5 can you believe melees this week.
That's fair. That's fine.
Gardner,
It's like we're on spring break.
I know. You know what? I can't believe that we've got a sponsor backing the carte blanche movement.
Oh, here
You
we
guys heard
go.
about this?
I think I have. And I also
Getaway
have a
golf
jingle
carts.
for it, too.
Oh, I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, here we
I don't
go.
know if you want to.
Getaway cars when you want to get away from the cops.
No, getawaycarts.com.
Maybe.
New sponsor
Possibly.
here on the program. That's right, getawaycarts.com. Hashtag carte blanche. Hashtag. They also let you customize. Are you aware of that, Travis?
Hashtag they let you customize?
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
exact
All right.
one.
I like that's. I don't know if they knew how hashtags work,
No,
but okay.
that's not.
Okay.
That's not actually the one. It's actually Travis.
Okay.
Customize without limits.
Oh.
See, they're anti. You're a big limiting guy.
Push it to the limit.
Gateway Carts is a local business that specializes in the sales, service, and customization of golf carts. You name it, they can and have done it. At Getaway Carts. They pride themselves on living up to the tagline and hashtag of Customized Without Limits. Also carte blanche. We'll throw that in there. What makes them so unique is their service, and it's one-on-one. You can take your card in. You can get a new one. They'll help you with anything. Owners Joe and Fred pride themselves on representing their tagline. What is it? Customized Without Limits, Travis.
Oh, boy.
By letting you pick out everything you want about your cart when purchasing through Getaway Carts, you can pick your cart, color, seats, lift wheels, tires, lights, etc. With over 55-star reviews, you can count on Getaway Carts to build you the cart of your dreams. You'll be scooting around a St. Louis neighborhood anytime you please. Getaway Carts offer service plans and commercial carts as well. Getaway Carts is also the newest and best dealer of the all-new Series EV and Star EV golf carts and LSVs. Call or text 314-650-2951 to set up an appointment, or email them at info@getawaycarts.com. Thank you to Getaway Carts. Love them and that they're on board. What a unique sponsor, everybody.
What a dope thing the folks in Soulard, and even I think parts of South City in general, do when they drive around their carts. I think that's such a brilliant idea. Like I saw it the other day. I saw it on
Cuts down on, they're saving the ozone.
yeah,
True.
and DUIs.
Yeah, don't need anybody carting around in their vehicles doing bad things.
Oh,
Still get one.
no, okay. I didn't know.
That's why Getaway Carts promotes responsible driving.
You're reducing your carbon footprint.
Oh,
right.
take that out.
No, I do
Which is
like
why
that.
I'm
That's a
about
good
that
sign.
scooter life.
Oh,
You're not.
oh boy.
I think you're lazy and
you should.
sedentary. And
Can it be both?
And yes, it may be. So we got fair or foul today. Code switching. That's when you maybe you get down around your home.
People do it.
Maybe you get around your homeboys in their Wranglers and boots. And
White
you have
people
a
do it
southern
around me
drawl.
all the time. Everybody want to get, yo, what's up, dog? It's like,
Who did that to you?
Yale Hollander.
You just
Have I
thought
ever-
of a name.
Have I ever called you dog?
Yeah.
You couldn't
Cato
even,
Kalin
Yeah, it
called
was-
you
couldn't even
T-Dog.
look at me.
Yeah,
when you-
when Keywan was in here, he was like, Travis is my dog.
When I saw
I said,
Kiwan,
I said, have I ever called you dog?
Yeah.
do you remember whenever Kiwan walked in and I go, Kiwan, where are you getting them shoes? Are you buying them? Do you remember that?
You gave him a rap lyric from one of his
Do you
songs.
remember that?
I do. It was a music. It was a rap song.
Remember I did that to him?
Yeah, you did.
Wouldn't that be funny if I
You were
did do
there.
that? He walks in, I'm like, what up, dirty? He's like, I gotta go.
But blame him one bit.
I'm out of here.
Hey, big moment for you this upcoming weekend, though.
For me?
Yeah, big moment for you and Gardner.
Did you win
big
any money
moment
on the
for you.
national title game last night? I'm gonna try and switch up the topic.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that was riveting.
Uh-huh.
I won so much money.
Okay,
Go
sorry, back
Virginia.
to whatever you wrote.
Virginia is for lovers of national champions.
A friend of mine, I spent 10 minutes trashing Texas Tech for making it to the finals yesterday. I got a text about 2 p.m. yesterday. Friend and listener of the show, Steven, shout out Steven. BTW, I went to Texas Tech.
Oh, boy. Oh boy.
My bad.
By the way, up until last night,
So it's the official's fault
Yes, they got
that
jobbed
Texas
last
Tech
night.
lost. Try to help Chris out here.
Thank
No,
you.
that's fine.
Yeah.
No, but up until yesterday, that wasn't something people who are actual alums of Texas Tech said out loud publicly. I went to Texas Tech.
Like, yeah, Michael Crabtree almost won a Super Bowl with the 49ers.
Oh, Wes Welker, he was my gritty Uber driver back in the day. No one brags about that.
And your
But-
Bob Knight sweater.
Oh, I forgot he did coach there. What
Yeah.
a horrible human being. Fact is, big day for your people this weekend because Adam Sandler is hosting Saturday Night Live, a.k.a. White Tyler Perry back in the building. Is that your Sandler? Oh, boy.
Who's
Adam
Shawn
S-
Mendes?
Oh, he is only the greatest pop star on the planet
I'm actually
right
upset
now.
because Sandler's doing the music thing. Why didn't they just let him double book himself?
Come on now.
He could have dressed up like a woman
Oh, no.
and then played a part where maybe he's... No? You guys aren't into that?
I'm actually looking forward to Sandler returning back to
I think it could
SNL.
be great. I did
don't know when
watch
was the
Saturday Night
last
Live
time-
for
I
the
don't-
first time this season last weekend, and it was not good. I was told by Benjamin Hockman on Twitter it was the worst of the season so far.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy. Look, Sandler.
I love the opportunity. I think it'd be really. It could be really.
Yeah,
funny.
I think it'd be very fun. Look, Sandler on SNL. You would imagine he's going to bring back a few of the classic characters. If there's a classic Adam Sandler SNL character you'd like to see, who would it be?
Oh boy. I'd like to see, because he's on there all the time and maybe it'll give the Trump stuff a rest. I'd love to see some Canteen Boy with our guy.
That's my first thought.
Only because I want people to be just incensed. I want people to just be, how can they? And then on Monday they'll say newly discovered footage of Alec Baldwin harassing a young man, and I'm like, well, that was actually aired live on NBC in 1995.
Is Alec Baldwin going to play his normal character in the Canteen Boy sketch, or
reformed,
or does he play?
We're talking where he's the scoutmaster, right?
Right. Yeah. Does he pull in Trump into that impersonation?
I'm good on that, man. And I'm not saying it can't be funny, and it's always served its purpose, but I don't know. Do you? I mean, I wouldn't mind if they kept it classic.
I would.
No, not at all.
If they find a good way to do it, cool.
If
you can pull it off.
I'm wondering if he might try and add a new twist or something.
I would like to see Opera Man, simply because I know.
Was he that funny?
Because I think Colin Jost and Michael Che, and then put in Adam Sandler as Opera Man in the middle. Could be really funny.
Would it be sacrilege to have them do a remake of him doing the Lunch Lady Land song? I mean, did Chris Farley as the Lunch Lady? I mean, obviously it made it, but even if he did it and they had a new ensemble and they could show Farley on a screen behind him,
that would be a really a great honor to Farley.
Hologram
if they
Farley
did that.
As the Lunch Lady.
I don't know if they have to go hologram Farley.
What's Kevin Farley doing? He can sub in.
Horatio Sands could maybe step in.
He's skinny-ish now.
Is he?
They don't have oh no, and I'm not even being mean because I just heard an interview with her on WTF with Mark Maron, so I like her. Who is the young woman who she calls herself a big personality and a big woman? Edie? Is it Edie?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Oh boy, we are bad, and she is a longtime cast member.
Yeah, I think she's been on for at least 8 seasons, 7 or 8 seasons. She's been on for a minute.
Boy, am I a jerk! I cannot.
It's 80.
80 Bryant.
Yeah, there we go.
She should play the Lunch Lady. She'd
It'd
crush it. She'd be great.
That'd be a great homage to the late Chris Farley. I think it'd be a good time this weekend.
Slap it, Joe, slap. What? I'm trying to think.
You got to bring back some cast members, right? So
they
we're going to
could do
see
a Ghost of Lunch Lady or something like that.
They could. But you're thinking, so we're going to probably see David Spade. We're probably, well, I don't know. Is Spade still on good terms with the folks at SNL?
I would think, right?
Okay.
Did he come back for that reunion?
Yeah. I know
remember.
I know Eddie Murphy stayed away because of David Spade.
What?
Yeah. Technically it was because of SNL in general, but because David Spade made a joke on SNL about Eddie Murphy.
Eddie.
And Eddie's fairness, he said he always thought that ex-cast members were not fair game. It was always understood that ex-cast members were not to be made fun of on the show.
20 years ago?
He felt like he was the only cast member that happened to. He was the only one that happened to. I'm just reading.
I mean, look at Chevy Chase. Is anyone making fun of him on the show?
Nobody making fun of Chevy Chase, and he deserves to be made fun of. I'm just saying there's no other.
Joel McHale played him in a movie for Hulu, and he's doing a lot of blow in that movie. I mean, and it was a semi-autobiographical film about the guys who made, what was it?
Mad
National Lampoon.
National Lampoon.
Yeah.
But no, I think it'll be a good episode. You think Snyder comes back? You probably think Spade probably comes back.
What if they do the thing where like they only get into the police, but they only do it for like a second, and they're like, "Hey, knock it off! That's not cool anymore."
That could work.
That could work.
Yeah,
that would be something that would. Hey, that'd be a laugh, or like they get taken away.
I think I'm looking more forward to it because Sandler can bring back a ton. Like it's Adam
Chris Rock
Sandler,
will
so he can bring. Yes, he can bring back Chris Rock.
Wasn't ever like huge on the show,
right?
But it'll be super fun to see Chris Rock.
Right. So he'll bring back the classics. He'll bring back the guys.
Will Nealon show
I'm
up?
thinking Nealon absolutely shows.
You know who's gonna show up?
Norm Macdonald's gonna show.
Well, Norm could be good, but you know who would be? It would just be really funny, just because he would show that he's going to continue to beat his own drum and not care what anybody thinks. He'll just make money if he uses his token dudes from Happy Madison. If they show up and they've just got the Happy Madison
Why
guy,
is Kevin James here? He wasn't even on the show.
I don't know why we need the guy from Grandma's Boy right now. That's
That's like a must to me.
Oh, really?
I think you have to. You got to.
He just brings back every hot wife he's had in all of his movies.
Kevin Herlihy. He was a writer with those. They would do the Herlihy Boys. I don't know if you ever knew about that. I'm trying to think of other stuff.
When does a season end for Saturday Night Live?
Generally, it's like I want to say it's the first week in June. I think it'd be just before June. I feel like just before June. I could be wrong.
If you weren't cowards, Saturday Night Live, you'd recruit Brendan Fraser and Steve Buscemi and have a reunion of the Lone Rangers from the 1990s classic Airheads.
Of course.
Yes, cinematic masterpiece. You could even bring in Joe Piscopo.
Yeah, keep that Rotten Tomato score. I'm sure we're going to use that at some point for Airheads. It was a good movie.
I think we were the
Michael
right
Richards
age.
was in it.
He was.
Not one N-word was dropped.
Oh, unbelievable.
I know, shocking, right?
You brought up Norm's name. Now I'm thinking as we're discussing SNL, they need to bring him back to do a 25-year anniversary for OJ and just do OJ.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that would be brilliant. See, that's too brilliant. That's too smart. I don't think that would happen. Like, that makes too much sense.
Since the rumor always was that those are the ones that's the material that kind of forced him out in a way. It's been 25 years. Or, well, it's been longer than, or a little less.
Is that what you think forced Norm Macdonald out? Or was it
That
Norm
was always a
Macdonald being
rumor.
the human being? Like,
That
because
was
Norm
always the
Macdonald's an
thing.
incredible talent, but word is just
He's
a,
crazy.
he's a man that
He's very
just
tough to-
roams the earth like Eli. So it's hard to contain
Wow.
him.
Can it be both? Can it be both?
It probably is both. It could have been definitely both. But I feel like some of the jokes on SNL, there have been some very edge-worthy jokes that a lot of folks have survived. So I would say that
I would just
there's
like-
more to the story.
I would
than-
like to see him do a weekend update with all OJ jokes.
That'd be good. I think we deserve that. I think we are
Somehow
owed that.
find a way to write that in 25 years later.
Do you think
By the way, Michael Che and Colin Yost, WrestleMania this past Sunday. They were a part of it. They were in the
how'd they do?
Battle Royale. They lost.
They were in it.
They were actually physically in the Battle Royale.
Colin Jost, like,
Colin Jost, Michael Che.
I've seen him perform live. He did not look like he would hold up well in a wrestling ring.
He did not.
He's actually paralyzed from the waist down now.
I was like, Chris, he can no longer walk.
Okay. Who do you is there anybody you want to see that's a must? I mean, is Chris Rock that guy? Is Kevin Nealon? Like, who do we think is it Spade? Like, he's best buddies with Spade. Is there anybody we're forgetting?
If you're going to bring back Spade, you're going to have to bring back the whole crew. So you got to bring back Rob. You got to find a way to get Tim Meadows in there. You got to bring back
Tim Meadows on our show this Friday.
Yes, indeed.
He will not be there because he'll be in St. Louis.
Well, things can happen. Maybe he can do something from Skype.
Hologram of Tim
That's
Well,
better
Meadows.
like
well,
it.
Travis.
A hologram of Tim Meadows in the back when they're just like, Tim, you're still here?
Squeeze in maybe a Tracy Morgan appearance.
The reporter that Travis is, you said, when is this occurring?
This is taking place on Saturday.
No, it is not.
Oh.
Once again, hold on here a second.
boy.
I'm going to put this image up for you.
Okay.
What does that say?
May 4.
What do you think that is?
May the force be with you.
So that's a little less than a month away.
Oh, okay. Okay, that is. So Tim Meadows can still appear on the show.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Tim Meadows on this show this Friday.
I don't have
He's
a,
requested we do a
I don't
one-on-one
have a
now.
calendar.
He's now requested he doesn't want to speak to the man with no calendar sense.
My apologies.
Do you feel bad about that?
I felt terrible. I felt absolutely terrible. Every day I mentally
Be hustling.
I do. It's like a rap song, right? I focused on the ways I can properly prepare myself for my upcoming adventure to the city that is known as
New York.
There we go. And I do not go searching for these stories. They constantly appear on my timeline, whether it be Facebook or Twitter. This just goes to show what happens in this city. It's an absolute madness. So yesterday, going through Twitter, I saw this video and I immediately thought, oh dear God, that's going to happen to me when I'm trying to get somewhere and I'm going to absolutely lose it. Another subway moment in New York City yesterday that absolutely blew my mind. Chris, you have to check this out. In the video, it's the subway, the door is opening, and a man is dragging in what looks
These are
like
office trees. These
large,
aren't office
and they're not
bushes.
small. They're at
No.
least they're about
You could line
seven.
you could line a bar patio with these.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
we're talking about this guy is bringing in
50
everything you see out front in front of
50-pound
Home
planters?
Depot.
Yeah.
You know, everything you see out front. That's what this guy has found a way to drag into
And
the
he's
subway.
lightly pushing their leaves back.
He's pushing the leaves back, and people on the subway are just sitting, just knowing, wow, we're not going to move until this guy loads.
We're at our fourth plant.
We're 4 plants, and they're about what on average 8 feet tall.
He got these from the set of Jurassic Park.
But the thing is,
Oh no.
exactly, the woman, as you
Oh,
can hear in the
God.
background, she is like, this mofo is going for more trees.
My thing is, how has he got a whole forest and he's the only dude doing it?
That's my question, because first off,
And
how
nobody-
did he get those trees to the platform?
Probably gonna smoke them.
And I would imagine, I don't know how he pulled this off. And then I didn't understand why the doors remained open. And then I didn't understand how the hell he was going to get them off, and the rest of that train full of people, how they were going to get off. That was a very New York moment. And again, I am deathly afraid as to what's going to take place here shortly.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, what would your move be? Like, what? I mean, how do you one up that guy? I mean, do you bring like a whole patio set on there? Like, what's?
I don't, but my thing, I think what I'm going to do is just mirror the behavior of everyone around me. So if everybody else around me is like shrugging their shoulders, I can't be the guy that gets ticked off at the person who brings in 8 Christmas trees on a subway cart. So I just got to stand there and take it.
I mean, those are from the Triassic period, right?
Look at you.
Right?
You're showing off. I just,
Paleolithic.
that type of behavior is happening all the time in this city, and I'm just not sure if I'm
No
ready for that.
shame either.
None.
No, not an ounce.
But I think if you live in that city and you have to move the way that you need to move in order to do anything, you have to have no shame. Like, you have to throw shame out the door. What I'm slowly learning is that you're just going to have to be a serial killer in order to live in New York.
Right, to be not messed with or
Yeah, essentially. I mean, you got to have at least the mindset of one, because these people, like, if that happened on the Metrolink, people aren't that calm.
Well, no, they would have been robbed of their plants.
Well,
in
yeah, they
St.
would
Louis.
take that. Like, hold on, what kind of trees you got, man? This is my territory. But
Man, those aren't Bradford pears. Maybe they were building a mobile rainforest cafe from the Black Sheep.
very likely.
That's a very good question.
But that's the thing about the city that I'm also looking forward to, because every silly business that you would absolutely go, what? That doesn't make any sense, they have in New York. So they have a place where you can go and pay to cuddle with someone. That's a thing in New York. Like, I can walk down the
Is that what
street.
you've applied to be.
I have.
How about this? Skylar from Gateway Powder Coating, one of our sponsors, says he'd powder coat that patio set for us. That's a good time to remind you. It's summertime. It's going to be in the 70s today. Metal furniture looking bad on the back patio. Make sure you use Gateway Powder Coating to make it look right. Fast, durable, affordable. Gateway Powder Coating, gatewaypowdercoat.com. Go see Skylar, Mark, and the fellas, and maybe they'll give you a wink and a smile. We're going to be doing another big gift certificate giveaway for them. I'm thinking this maybe next week. I don't know. I know Jamie Moyer's Fancy Foyer took home a big prize recently. We love Gateway Powder Coating. They support us, so you support them. If your wheels need touched up, if you need your smoker, Travis, you're big into smoking barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you use Gateway Powder Coating, gatewaypowdercoat.com, your #1 resource for powder coating in the Midwest. That's right. Shameless plugs all day long.
You know, that's funny. Their tagline, that's how women describe me. Fast, durable, affordable. Oh, yeah.
Take out durable, and I'd believe you.
Hey.
I think maybe even just a little bit. So are you prepped, though? You're good to go? I mean, May 1st, are you out of here?
Well, not May 1st. I will do.
You did an audition. You did a guest spot on Stacey Static's new podcast that's recording here at Midco Studios yesterday on the Static podcast.
Man, I don't know what
a
you're
lot of
talking about.
laughing, a lot of joy
don't know what.
that I haven't heard in years. It was like whenever whenever the guy knows his 27-year marriage is over because the wife is just giggling with the pool guy, and he hasn't heard that laugh in ages. Boy, you and Stacey Static just cutting it up in here yesterday. Check out the Static podcast.
Look, you needed some advice.
You saw that Kevin Johnson did a write-up on her in the Post-Dispatch, and you're like, Hey,
How many
can I
write-ups
get a
have you
little
had?
bit-
How
can I
many
get a little
write-ups
bit
have you had on the
positive?
Posters page? Yeah, positive. Any positive
Boy,
things said in the St. Louis
is
media
there
about
a
you?
difference in the entertainment reporter and the AM radio talk reporter? Woo! That was a stark difference than the other media reports I've read. But again, how did that go yesterday? You were on the Static podcast. Good time.
I was a guest on.
Why were you giggling so much? I'm really bothered
We
by
were
that.
discussing how the revolution is going to go down, and so sometimes
Gardner
you
was
laugh.
here for that? Did you
I
get
was
jumped in?
listening.
It was
Did
an-
you get jumped in?
It was an.
I took notes.
Okay.
It was an NDA.
How do you feel too that Stacy's first guests were Kevin C. Johnson, the
Right.
entertainment reporter of one of the biggest paper in town, famous man himself, Kiwan of the St. Lunatics,
Right.
and then you. Do you feel like you let her down with the star
I
power?
feel like I think she was wise because like I was like the third guest. Like Toy Story was the third movie. Toy Story
You
3,
cried- the one you
best
cried at.
movie, the one that everyone cried at. So don't throw me under the bus, pal. But no, I was honored to be on Stacy's show. Look, as I
haven't seen
continue
any
to
of
grow,
the Toy Stories.
oh, they're very good, very entertaining. That Tim Allen, I tell you.
There's a snake in my boot.
Yeah,
Well,
very.
that was
Tom
Forrest
Hanks.
Gump.
Please don't disrespect that. But no, look, as I continue to become this media mogul that I thought I would,
here
and
it is.
and then look, am I one of the rising 40 under 40? Yes, I'll probably be on that list. But
I mean, you're pretty close to 40, and you haven't even sniffed the list.
I
yet.
mean, like, look, I got 5 years left on it, and right now I'm still on track to make somebody's 40 under 40 list. But look, when I do these interviews, whether it's TMZ, whether it's whether it's Fallon or Marin's podcast, I just want to be myself. And I took the time to promote our program like I always do. Like, I don't just jump on people's podcasts and not mention, my homie. Like, I don't go to like an All Things Comedy podcast event and then not mention my co-host at all.
abruptly end it?
Like, I don't do that.
Okay.
But no, I don't. Look, it
makes
was a
more
fun
sense.
interview with Stacy, and the fact that she's interviewed so many celebrities, including myself, means the world to me. And so,
Would you like to thank your fans?
I mean, the one cool thing about her show is that she has listeners. And so that was kind of cool. Like, because I would say things and people would actually text me, "Oh, man, I heard what you said. That's funny. How long have you been doing your show?" And then I have to remind them, I've been doing this for almost 4 years.
Okay.
She did discuss going to New York with you.
She did.
And at one point,
How
she
did that
said,
go?
She said, well, you've been before, right? And you go, no. And she's like, oh.
Yes,
I wish you would have at least visited first.
yes, she hit me with
She
that.
is a mother. She had genuine concern for you.
She did, because she actually has a young daughter that's living in New York.
Don't
or
be
has
bothering
lived in New
her.
York. And
Did
so,
she tell you that? Don't ask her for a place to stay.
look, push come to shove, a brother desperate. Hey, I stay in somebody's closet.
Hey, I know your mama.
But right. Hey, you know me. Look. Listen to my accent. I'm from the Lou. But no, it was
Ted Drews.
It was a delight. Later today, actually, I am actually doing Conan's pod. I'm gonna do.
How you doing that?
I'm doing Conan O'Brien's podcast, so I'll
Okay.
do that later. Look, man, I just want you guys to know that when I eventually arrive, there will always be a place in my company for you two to be valet drivers.
This is so kind of you.
You guys will never have to worry about working again. Well, you're gonna have to work, but
Isn't
you'll
that-
work for me,
isn't that
so that'll
Clark
be
Farm
way
thing?
cooler.
Is there a doorman opportunity possible?
Very, very likely.
That would be what I would
All
want.
right. Chris,
Could I get that one?
You can. Chris, is there a particular job you would like? Would you like to be my go-getter, my gopher? And by gopher, go get these you-know-whos?
We've got a few questions from Billy Fatpants. Did she get up in that ass about you turning your back on the black community? I think he might be referring to your theater choices.
No, I never turn my back on my community. Why would I? You guys are so weird. I don't understand you folks. You sit up here and you try to tell us to pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Watch how the Caucasians support us. I bet we can get 3 people to share this stream.
Okay.
Watch.
Okay. Your parents don't count.
Watch, guys.
Dope. Your parents and your brother do not count.
Midcoast Media, Chris Denman, and We Are Live have shared their own post.
Stacy didn't have to worry about sharing anything. She got views.
Good for you. So do you feel like you took her program to the next level? It wasn't The write-up in the
I
Post-Dispatch?
feel like I took myself to the next level because I was, again, on a very popular podcast. And now folks will not only start listening to this show, but they
they'll
will
tune in
start.
and they'll be like, where's that Travis guy?
They'll start thinking, oh, I get it now. I see why he is the next Jordan Peele. I get it. I understand why he continues to elevate the art scene here in St. Louis. So
Do you?
I'm ready for that kind of feedback. I'm ready for that kind of critique. I've been preparing myself. I've been on Twitter for almost 10 years. So I know at this point what to be ready for. So I'm excited. It's going to be
Good for you.
Yeah, it was a good show. It's a really good show. Way better than.
Wow.
But do we want to do that? We got time for my Traview?
Yeah. Did you actually watch a full episode that was recommended to you, or are you going to just give a half-ass thing?
Well, Chris, we're about to find out, aren't we?
I guess
it's
so.
time for the Travis Terrell's Traview. It sucks.
Okay, gotcha. Travis, what are you traviewing today? Travis, he traviews things. It's a review in Travis form, and he assigns 1 to 5 booties. One time he gave 6 booties to a barbecue place.
I did. And I have to say, boy, was I correct. Today, though, yesterday, took the time to review one Joe
Treview.
Rogan experience.
You traviewed the Joe Rogan experience. Did you have to pull up the Alex Jones photo? He's had 9 million guests.
I did.
You pulled up the Alex Jones
Of course
photo.
I had
Okay.
to.
So, if I may, this is your segment. This is your segment.
Yeah.
But may I do some cross-examination
Yes,
so I can see where this is coming from and if it's coming from a place of altruism or a place of buffoonery.
Okay.
Okay. Which episode did you watch?
The one with Mr. Andrew
Did you watch
Yang.
it or listen to it?
Watched on the tube of you.
Okay.
Andrew Yang.
How much? How long?
I watched about 25 minutes of that.
Okay.
30 minutes, man.
And you
podcast.
didn't want.
Here's the thing is, and I'll explain.
Okay, so anything you say from here on out is now to be filtered.
How much more of Joe Rogan do I need in order to not?
It's a whole episode.
It's Joe Rogan. I need a full hour of Joe Rogan to know what Joe Rogan's doing.
Well, his episodes are like 3 hours long.
Yeah, and it's usually him not
Appreciate the
asking
art
any
form.
questions to the people he's interviewing. Now, so he interviewed Michael Yang, who is president.
Oh boy.
Andrew Yang. I get the.
No. Here's what
No.
here's
Gardner,
what you-
please.
If you even thought, why did you say Michael? Who are you thinking of?
Yep.
I
Were
don't
you
know.
thinking of a former professional tennis player? Were you thinking of Michael Chang?
Oh.
And then you said Michael Yang and combined
Yeah.
Andrew Yang and Michael
You see
Chang.
how easy it is? You see how easy it is? It's
That's what happens when you code switch.
This
That
isn't
is
the
not-
this
that
isn't the
is not-
patriarchy. This isn't whitey. This isn't anything. It is human nature to make mistakes. And you, sir, are racist.
That
Michael
is-
Yang.
That is not how I intended. I was not.
Look at that
oh,
smile.
yeah,
You
look
know
at
that's
that.
not.
Exactly.
I didn't
oh,
really-
hey. Next up.
It was a
hey,
s-
Joe Rogan interviews the guy from Rush Hour 3. Yeah, that's right.
Was it unintentional? It was unintentional, right?
It was absolutely that was no connection. You made the connection.
No, I'm making
This-
the,
you
I'm
were
connecting
racist
the
as
dots.
hell.
I'm connecting the dots, and I
Yeah.
think
There was
they're
no
accurate.
dots to connect. There
Oh,
were
there
no
most
dots.
certainly are.
There were no dots.
Most certainly are.
There
Can
were
we
no
get a-
dots.
How about we let
you
everybody else
created
make
the
the
dots,
decision?
Sharpton.
Can we get a blinking light that says racist as hell that only plays on camera 3?
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, we'll look into it. We'll look into
I
it.
didn't, that's no. There were no dots to connect. Andrew Yang, he is
Presidential candidate.
presidential candidate, and
A minority.
yes.
Looking out for jobs.
So the interview was at what it was very.
So you saw one. So if I heard one bar from a rap song,
Chris
from a
it's
rap hip hop,
25
melody.
minutes of Joe Rogan. Did he all of a sudden jump into a song and dance? Did he start freestyling at the end of the podcast?
I would think they would come back around to some points and thoughts.
It was an insightful interview in that Andrew Yang was interesting. Oh boy, he was a very fascinating individual. But here's okay. So do I go into my complaints?
Oh, this
Well,
is your
here-
this is your
let me-
segment.
Let me give you a clip.
Okay,
first.
here we go.
There's a clip from that interview.
And then I started paying attention to the rise of AI and automation and how many jobs are going to get taken
Yes,
away
yes.
from. And then once you see the actual numbers, it's pretty staggering.
Yeah, and that's how I got there, Joe. Like, I spent the last 7 years running an organization that I'd started called Venture for America, and we helped create about 3,000 jobs in Detroit, Cleveland, St. Louis, Birmingham, New Orleans, other cities around the country. And I saw that we're pouring water into a bathtub that has a giant hole ripped in the bottom, and that for every 5, 10, 50 jobs that my entrepreneurs are going to create, we're going to lose 5, 10, 50,000 jobs.
It's not something that people intuitively suspect could be a real issue either. It's one of the ones where you kind of have to like go shake people like, hey, look at this. This is coming. There's a cliff. We're going towards this cliff.
Insightful, Joe.
It's darker still in that. So when I was digging into the numbers, I found that it's not this cliff that we're heading towards. It's actually more of a curve that we're on. What I've been telling people is that we're in the third inning now, where one of the main reasons why Donald Trump won in 2016 is that we automated away 4 million manufacturing jobs that were based in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin, Missouri, Iowa, all the swing states he needed to win in the center of the country. And a lot of that was just manufacturing work. And if you go to a factory, you'll see it's just giant robot arms as far as the eye can see. So it's not just that you have artificial intelligence on the horizon. It's that we've been eating away at the most common jobs in the U.S. economy for almost 20 years now. And it's just now hitting a point where it's pushing more and more unskilled men in particular out of the workforce.
Again, very insightful.
Great line of questioning, and let his guest speak.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean,
When's the last time you said intuitive in a sentence?
I want to say I said it 2 weeks ago.
No, you were yelling at your cousin.
I was going to say I respect that intuitive ass.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost
All
certain
right,
I
I misspoke.
That was a good interview.
That guy was interesting.
Yes, Mr. Yang is very interesting. I mean, as far as his presidential candidacy outlook, but it's good to have him in the race. And
He's bringing he actually
it's an important conversation that he's having.
Full interview, if you see it, he brings a lot of pragmatism to what initially seems like this crazy socialist idea of giving every single citizen $1,000 a month is his universal basic income thought. But the way he explains it, it's very. Yeah, it seems like it could work. I don't know. So I'm not an economist.
So I did notice a theme in a couple of these interviews is that the guests absolutely carry Rogan, and they should, because these are very good guests. Now it's one thing Rogan does do a very good job. Whoever books for Rogan, they do a great job. Oh yeah, that one.
Oh, this is brutal for you.
That guy. I did not get around to the obviously bigoted, disgusting conversation he had with one Alex Jones. I purposely avoided that 5-hour cluster mess of a podcast because I didn't want...
I never sucked any ding-dongs.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to hear that. He also recently did an interview with one Kevin Hart. And again, I watched about 30 minutes of that. And that was
You agreed to watch one full episode.
Isn't it full episodes?
I suggested Donnell Rawlings or
did.
Killer Mike,
Yeah.
and you would have been right in that because you're a tunnel vision guy,
Yeah.
and you would have loved those.
I'll be honest with you. I started the Killer Mike one and I almost kicked my screen out the window
Why?
because I have big issues with Killer Mike.
Gotcha.
On several fronts, especially when it comes to St. Louis and Ferguson, Missouri. But that's a conversation for another day.
So what's your rating for the Traview of
So,
Joe Rogan?
look, I
experience?
enjoyed the Kevin Hart one because those are two comedians going back and forth. I think that's where Joe is at his strongest, when he's in the room with people who are funnier than him, which is 99% of his guests.
Oh my God!
But when he's in there with comedians, he is very entertaining. I will give you that. The thing I do push back against Joe Rogan is that he's a very intelligent guy who refuses to ask intelligent questions.
Oh, I disagree.
And here's why I say he does not press his guests. Like, if you're going to get the kind of guests that he brings in, I'm not saying go Diane Sawyer, but ask the questions that everyone's been talking about. There's a reason why you have Kevin Hart in the room. Get Kevin Hart to talk about his dumbass play when it came to the Oscars. And
he talked about the Oscars.
He did, but he didn't talk about the Oscars. He let Kevin go on to his. Kevin Hart has a great job, but I think Kevin. But here's what he does that I don't like, because he lets people come on and assert their brand. So Kevin Hart's brand is to be able to go into these long stories about how people hate on him, and that's fine. But there's a moment when a person gets to an interview where you know they're getting into their pitch.
So for
it's just like the
you-
stump speech. You know when you get a politician that comes on a news show and they immediately try to roll a question into their stump speech? That's what Rogan does, and that's a little bit frustrating considering it's a no-holds-bar scenario.
So
like
given
everybody
that-
knows when they come on Rogan that expect the unexpected, and
He
lets
presses
them,
people, but I understand what you're saying about being there for the hang.
Yeah.
If that's not what you're into, I could see where that could be frustrating. He actually fixed that with when he had Jack from our boy St. Louis, Jack Dorsey on. He got criticized for that being an important.
It was a
guest.
very soft, and then
No,
like,
but
they
they-
ended up
but he
coming
had him
back.
back on,
He had
yeah.
him back on, and that was good. But but I think the Dorsey interview is what I would say his quote unquote detractors have issue with. Is that Joe Rogan seems like a guy that talks a big game, but when the people get into the room, all of a sudden he turns into,
I've heard
"Hey,
it past
buddy,
people.
you want some coffee? Hey, what's going on? What's your new movie? How about your
Ow.
new project?"
I'm
And I
gonna
get it. It's a
vomit.
Howard Stern
This is
play.
hurting me.
It's a Howard Stern play, and it's smart because Howard Stern has done it recently, where he has become a little bit
Sacrilegious.
nicer to celebrities, so he can continue to get the big names to come on their show. And Rogan is smart. Rogan has bills to pay, and Rogan is making money hand over fist. So it makes sense for him to just want to play the Hollywood game. He's doing the Hollywood game, but in Rogan style.
If
so,
I'm balled up in the corner in a second.
no, that's fine.
I'm
So I would have to say, as far as from a Traview experience, I give it 3 booties.
Oh wow, more favorable than I thought.
So it's not. I don't respect that ass, but I will say that I can understand why others do.
Very
If
respectful.
you like flat asses that are wide and undesirable, there's a group of people for you. So that's what I think of the Joe Rogan experience. He's a nice fellow. I like when he calls the UFC games.
Go to hell, Travis Terrell. You and your disgusting Travis segment are now kicked off the show. Oh, guys, that'll
I mean,
do
he's
it.
not Deesa Zamiro.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way.
All right.
All right.
Nobody saw that coming.
Mm-hmm.
That'll end the first hour of the show. We'll be back on the other side, and we promise if it's not right, we're going to get his name right. Danny Wisentowski from the Riverfront Times. We're talking cows in North City. We're talking all kinds of different stuff. We love the guys at the Riverfront Times. It's Chris Dem and Travis Terrell. We are live from Midcoast Studio. Check out midcoast.media for more information on what we are up to. Quick break. We'll be right back.